Grew an annualized 3.5%, indicating that Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's stimulus may be working. I'm Deborah Kahn. Joining me now is Heard on the Street columnist Aaron Back. Okay, Aaron, for the past decade or more, we've been hearing nothing but about Japan's deflationary cycle. So could this actually be the end?
I think it probably is the end of deflation in Japan. There have been concerns that they may not be able to generate inflation, but I think those worries are misplaced. Ultimately, if a central bank is determined to print money, they can create inflation. So the question now is not, I think, one of prices, but one of whether or not they can generate real growth in output. And the figures out today are a very good sign, but there's a lot more that remains to be done.
Okay, so what do you think are the most critical things Abe's government must do to ensure long-term growth?
So there's two things. A fiscal consolidation is coming. The consumption tax is to be doubled over the next 2 years. So can they pull that out? Can they pull that off without choking off growth? They need to, because their debt is so high. They need to figure out a way to manage that. Second, they need a package of structural reforms to deregulate the economy, do things like bring in more immigrants, get more women working, make things run more efficiently. There's a package of reforms that's due to come out next month, and the market is very focused on that now.
Okay, and so we've seen a boost in consumer spending, at least in the short term. We've also had a falling yen helping exporters, Japanese exporters. What do you think is the biggest threat in the near term for the stimulus plan?
So two things. If you look at the numbers today, the one weak spot was business investment, which fell. So that indicates that businesses aren't quite buying this whole Abenomics story quite yet. I think maybe a lot of them are waiting to see these structural reforms before they actually put money on the table. And secondly, there are always global risks. If the euro crisis flares up again, even if the yen is weaker, it's going to hurt Japanese exports. So that remains a risk.
Okay, thanks very much. Heard on the Street columnist Aaron Back. For more on Aaron's column, you could go to WSJ.com. I'm Deborah Kahn.